Abdul Rahman. I'm a lecturer at a public university in Kenya. I deliver lectures in computing and informatics. In our last lesson, we discussed about structure as a function argument, and we had seen that function as a function argument, actually it can take an individual member of a structure, or it can take what you call up a structure variable, or it can take up a pointer. Today we are going to start up onto a new journey and ask ourselves, what is a pointer to a structure? And in that particular journey, basically we are going to define the concept of a pointer to a structure, and then we are going to look at the syntax, and finally we are going to do what we call up the implementation. So let us start on that particular journey. So actually in a pointer to structure, the concept it is that a pointer variable actually points to the address of a structure variable. Let's try to conceptualize the same. If here basically we have our pointer variable, so this is our pointer variable, and here we have what you call our structure variable. So here we have got our structure variable, and both of them, they've got an address. So let's take for this particular one, it's 2020, and this address is 2045. So basically what happens is very simple, is that this particular pointer structure variable will actually point to the structure variable. So it will point up here. So with that particular note, let's see what is actually the syntax. And the syntax it's very simple. We'll have here our structure, and then the tag name of that particular structure, and then basically here we'll have our structure pointer. So that is the syntax, and this defines up the syntax. Now how do you define up this is the definition of a syntax. Let's say how can you actually store it. So when you're doing up a storage, actually you are having up your structure pointer, which actually it is assigned to using up the ampersand operator to the structure variable. So here you'll have up your structure variable. So that will be the storage. So let's see the access. So the access will be very simple. We'll have our structure pointer using up the arrow operator. It's going to access our structure member. So that will be the access. So let's take for example, we have got a structure. Let's take for example, we've got a structure called student. So we'll have the word struct student, and we want to initialize a pointer. So I'll call it pointer S, and we want to initialize also our structure variable. I'll call it S1. So how do we assign? It will be our pointer should be assigned to our structure variable. And how to be accessed? We'll have our pointer using up a point address to access. Let's take for example Max, and Max will be actually a member of students. So let's go now to the C++ and try to demonstrate these particular concepts. So in Dev C++, the first thing here we have to actually declare or initialize or create a structure. So we'll have the word structure. student, and in that particular structure student will have opening and closing curly bracket, and at the end of it, it must be terminated. So let's have some structure members. So we can have here structure members like char name, and onto that I'll give it 30, and then I will terminate. Then we can have basically our int registration number, and basically we can have our float, and we can have our marks, and we terminate. So that will be actually our structure. So let's use this to make up a function which will pass on the structure pointer. So we'll have up our void, maybe display, and onto that particular void display we are passing up our structure student, and we are having up our pointer which is s. So onto that, let's define the logic of this particular function. So the logic of this particular function, just to print up a few things. So it will print f. What does it want to print? They're printing up the name, and that particular name is data type string. So basically, how do we access? We are accessing using up our pointer. So our pointer using what? The arrow notation, and we are having up our name. So from there we are using again printf, and this time what do we want to print up? We are printing up the registration number. So we put up a line. So registration number is of what data type? So that will be %d. It is a data type of integer, and then basically we're using up our s to actually taking up our registration number, and the last part of it we want to access our print f. And what are we accessing? We are actually accessing our marks. So our marks should be equal to what type? Is a float, so we can have percentage, 2 decimal places, the 2f, and if you wanted them to be in a percentage, and basically we are using up our s, and we are accessing up our marks. So basically that's what we have done using up our pointer. So here basically we are declaring now, we are declaring up and assigning up our structure variable and our pointer variable. So struct student, we can have here our pointer, and here we can have our structure variable and assigning some values onto it. So let's take, for example, I want to assign just Abdul, and then I'm assigning up the registration number, and then I'm assigning up the marks, and then I'm done onto that. So after doing that, basically what do we have? We have to assign our pointer to our pointer into our structure variable. So our pointer, it is s. We are going to assign to our s1, Then basically we're just calling up display our function, and then we are passing on only one value, but this particular value would be the address of S1 because it needs a pointer. So that is actually the demonstration of this particular concept of pointer to structure. So let us run this particular program and see the outcome. Yes, when you run this particular program, we are seeing the outcome that the name is Abdul Rahman, registration number is 2346, and actually the marks is 67.87%. So that actually ends up into our session of structures, and into our next session we are going to go to a new topic of handling up files. However, don't forget to subscribe into our new videos, and for now I say bye.